in here, not only adjusting your schedules, but making your delicious offerings for us to taste test. It's been an incredible opportunity. I want to start out by thanking Lisa and Dave Budicke for hosting today's conference at this beautiful Second South Market. Let's give them a hand. And now I got to put my reading glasses on. You all know that we are honored to be joined by the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner, who we will turn to in just a moment. Scott, and thank you for joining us. But I have a long list of other dignitaries who are here today, and I hope that we have it all down right here. Scott Turner, Kelly Anton, Senate Pro Tem, Lance Clout, Idaho State House of Representatives, Don Hall, County Commissioner, Twin Falls County, Rocky Matthews, Twin Falls County Commissioner, Jack Johnson, Sheriff, and I got to stop there. We have, everybody in this state appreciates our law enforcement, and they put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe. And there's a movement in this country called defund the police. Well, I'm on the opposite side of that. And I think every person in this room is on the opposite side of it. Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you for all of the others who are in this room who put their lives on the line to keep the rest of us safe. Now, where was I?
Sheriff. Right after the sheriff.
Right after the sheriff. Ruth Pierce, of course. Mayor, thank you for joining us. Chris Reed, City Council, Twin Falls. Craig Hawkins, City Council, Twin Falls. Spencer Cutler, City Council, Twin Falls. Sean Berriger, Economic Development of the City of Twin Falls. Lisa and Dave Budicke, who I've already introduced or thanked. And Jesse MacArthur, Manager of the Tap House. Did I miss any dignitaries who want to be introduced? I know there are more that I didn't get. We also have joining us today Christopher Patterson, who is the Regional Administrator for Region 10. Christopher, raise your hand. We appreciate the work you guys do. Now, let me just say, I'm going to make some remarks. I'll try to make them brief. I want to get to the rest of our speakers here today. But I'm just here to express my excitement about the One Big Beautiful Bill. You see these charts here. I think it's important, and the reason I had to make these charts is because this chart here, the one on the left, tells the truth about the One Big Beautiful Bill. If you read any of the legacy media today, they will tell you that we created a $3 or $4 trillion deficit that was just passed in order to cut the taxes of billionaires. The facts are exactly opposite. This chart is a score from the Congressional Budget Office on the One Big Beautiful Bill that does not take into account the fact that we refused to raise taxes by $4 trillion. Said another way, we extended the TCJA so that everybody in this room's taxes would not go up. And we said that the refusal to raise taxes is not increasing the deficit. If you take that position, this is what the bill does. It keeps everybody's taxes from going up, and in addition, reduces the deficit by $366 billion, including $1.2 trillion of entitlement reform spending reductions. The first major entitlement reform of that size or significant or even close to that in history. We've started the process to deal with what is driving our debt. And I just wanted to make those points. I'm going to be very, very brief. I'm going to cancel the rest of my prepared remarks and just say the One Big Beautiful Bill does an awful lot of things, but here's just a couple of examples. I will say at the outset, the average American household, the average in Idaho, would have paid another $2,400 in taxes had we not extended the Tax Codes and Jobs Act. So to start with, every family would have been hit with $2,400. The economy would have gone into recession. But on top of that, the power of the investment that you're seeing in places like this across this country will generate up to $6,400 with that $2,400 tax savings in real wage increase and support. Up to $10,200 for real take-home pay increases because the economy is going to get a spurt. No taxes on tip or overtime, enhanced opportunity zones, which I'm sure some of us will talk about. This is an opportunity zone. I'll take somebody's message for a moment. A $6,000 bonus deduction for seniors. Remember, no tax on Social Security? Well, we can't touch Social Security. So instead, we gave seniors a $6,000 additional exemption in their taxes to help offset their Social Security taxes. 220,000 families in Idaho will receive an enhanced child tax credit. See, the number there is 2,200. If the TCJA had expired, that tax credit would have dropped to 1,000. We boosted it back to the TCJA 2,000 level and then added $200 to it. 151,000 small business owners, including probably everyone who's doing business in this room, get to keep their 20% deduction made permanent by our efforts in the One Big Beautiful Bill. And finally, 781,000 families, that's every family who does taxes, does their tax return or has their tax return prepared for them, gets to have an increased $1,500 enhanced standard deduction. So you'll pay less taxes across the board. This was not a tax cut for billionaires. This was a tax cut for small businesses, for every family in America, a boost for seniors, and the other reductions that I've talked about here. I know I haven't talked about opportunity zones or housing yet, but I want to stop there and turn the mic over to our fantastic Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Scott, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Senator. It's so good to be with you. Thank you for welcoming me and my team here to Idaho. We've had a wonderful time since we've been here. We were in Boise yesterday and Twin Falls today. I actually had an opportunity to go to the Blue Angels show yesterday, and it was incredible. It was such a great reminder of being an American and our military men and women and what they do to secure our freedoms in this country. And so if there's any Blue Angels that are hearing or watching or just hear my voice, I'm so grateful for you and your colleagues and for all of our military men and women, those that serve and their spouses and their children, because none of us would be standing here in the freedoms that we enjoy every day had it not been for our military men and women. Would y'all agree? How about we give them a shout out right there? The senator mentioned opportunity zones, which opportunity zones are a transformative policy in our nation. As a result of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2018, the opportunity zone legislation was brought forth. There's 8,764 opportunity zones around our country in urban, tribal, and rural populations and communities. And people say, what is an opportunity zone? An opportunity zone is a census tract, a neighborhood, a once thriving downtown and rural or urban areas that has now been dilapidated, boarded, blighted, and now investment has not come into these areas in decades. And because of that, Senator Tim Scott, Crapo, others came up with this idea of opportunity zone, and the president created an operating council to carry out this work in the first Trump administration. As a result of opportunity zones thus far, there's been almost $90 billion of private money, 90 billion with a B, that's been invested in rural and urban and tribal opportunity zones to create new operating business, to create new housing, new jobs, families formed. The trajectory of families living inside of opportunity zones has changed. 1 million people were lifted out of poverty as a result of opportunity zones. 300,000 units of new housing were created around our country because of this policy, this transformative initiative called opportunity zones. And you may say, well, why am I so passionate about it? Well, that was my job in the first Trump administration, is to be the ambassador, the spokesperson, if you will, to carry out this policy, but to see people's lives lifted out of poverty, to see people get an opportunity in this great United States of America because of this transformative initiative called Opportunity Zones will change you. When you see people living in poverty, when you see generations of kids in Birmingham, Alabama, Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, and in Olympic Peninsula, and all across this country. 80 cities I went to around here, and you see these kids who the kitchen table conversation says, well, we live in poverty. This is just the way it's going to be. And then here comes this Opportunity Zone initiative, and men and women, business people, private sector, public sector people coming together say, no, that conversation is going to change. That's what Opportunity Zones are. Is everybody with me? Yep. And guess what? We're standing in the Opportunity Zone right now. Dave and Lisa, thank you for making the investment. Thank you for having a heart to find this once Salvation Army building, to learn and to read and understand the beauty, the history of this place, to make it what it is today, and then to give these 7 or 8 businesses an opportunity to achieve the American dream of not just home ownership, but the American dream of living a life of self-sustainability and self-sufficiency. Isn't that right? Doesn't matter where you come from. You're an American citizen. You come here, you work hard, and you come to a place like this Opportunity Zone business, and you can see dreams coming true here. I've tasted every last one of these businesses, I do believe. And I want to let all you business owners know, I would eat at any one of your restaurants. And I think I got some to go too. But it has been a wonderful opportunity to be here. Dave and Lisa, thank you. Mayor, thank you, ma'am, for your leadership, and for all of the elected officials and those as public servants here. Thank you for what you are doing. Y'all, housing affordability in our country is at an all-time low. I should say it's an all-time high because we need about 7 million units of housing in our country. Manufactured, single-family, multifamily, manufactured housing. And we are working hard at HUD to do what we can and to be intentional to making housing affordable again. We're bringing down burdensome regulations. Burdensome regulations cripple building, they cripple development. So we've been taking inventory at HUD. What is causing us and helping us to carry out the mission, and what is keeping us from carrying out the mission? And so I have been encouraged, and even today encourage mayors and economic development and local leaders to take inventory of your regulations, take inventory of what's crippling the building and the development in your city, in your town, and get together, public and private, and help to unleash building, unleash the creativity, the ingenuity, the innovativeness, and the freedom for people to build so that more Americans in our country can achieve the American dream of home ownership. The median home price as of July 2025 is $435,000 in our country. How many know that's not sustainable? Mortgage rates have come down, but I think the interest rates also need to come down. And our friend at the Fed, Mr. Powell, needs to bring down interest rates so that mortgage rates can come down so people can achieve the dream of American home ownership. So having said that, I'm so happy, Senator, to be here. Idaho has been wonderful. My team and I have been very blessed, and I look forward to working with the senator, the mayor, and others to see how we can continue not only in this great opportunity zone, but increasing housing affordability for the American people. I want to now introduce my friend, my new friend, Senator, and he is the Senate Pro Tem, Kelly Anthony. Come on, Kelly.
I asked Kelly if I could steal the mic back because I did not mention one super dignitary who I should have introduced. My wife Susie is here with us, so please welcome her.
Well, welcome, Susie. We know you're important, very important. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Mr. Secretary. Those were great, inspiring words. Senator Crapo and all the distinguished guests, thank you very much for being here, and of course, all the Idahoans are here. We love you and welcome you. Welcome to Twin Falls, Mr. Secretary, and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of Southern Idaho, as the President Pro Tem of Idaho, of the Idaho Senate, I'm deeply grateful for you to be here today, and your presence here, I think, says a lot. Here in rural Idaho, forward-looking communities flourish when we combine local vision with a federal government that knows how to unlock opportunity for private investment in rural America. The Trump administration's opportunity zones and the New Markets Tax Credit Program stand out as remarkable examples of how that works. These are programs that empower economic revitalization and create jobs where they're really needed the most. And now let me offer just a few examples of how that's worked in Idaho. Just this year, Pipeline Plastics in Rupert, Idaho, my district, relied on New Markets tax credits to finance and break ground on a critical infrastructure manufacturing facility in the Minnecaja area. That's created 50 durable, full-time, high-paying jobs, along with 70 construction jobs from local companies. This kind of pro-growth, pro-jobs momentum would not have been possible, and the company says so, without the New Markets Tax Credit Program, without these federal tax credits. Now, just down the road in Blackfoot, Idaho, Premier Technologies expanded its precision manufacturing operations with a 70,000 square foot facility. And again, thanks to New Market tax credits, this project delivered 100 new full-time jobs and 70 construction jobs in eastern Idaho. Look to Caldwell. Capital Distributing constructed a 220,000 square foot headquarters and distribution center, thanks again in part to New Market tax credits. That led to 130 jobs and 200 construction jobs. And of course, here in Twin Falls, one of our most exciting local stories, the historic downtown site at 160 Main Avenue South, was revitalized as the largest mixed-use development ever in the city's history, powered again by financing from New Market Tax Credits program. This was made possible, by the way, thanks to MoFi. Is anyone here from MoFi? Boy, I wish you were, because I'd like to call you out. They're a longtime ally and partner with Southern Idaho in this community development. And of course, Senator Crapo has been a long champion for these programs. And thanks to his support, it continues to deliver real results for Idahoans. So I want to say these are not just numbers. They're real opportunities. They're real opportunities for Southern Idaho individuals, for families, and for our communities. They show what happens when federal tools like the New Market tax credits, like opportunity zones, combine with great local leaders and real local vision. I'd also like to emphasize that none of this happens by chance. Senator Crapo and the Trump administration have worked to sustain, to strengthen, and to extend these programs through bills like the One Big Beautiful Bill, bringing stability and confidence to rural investors. Because if you know anything about investment, you know that money needs predictability. And people won't put their money in places where there's no predictability. And that's what the One Big Beautiful Bill has done. And so these outcomes follow directly from their leadership, from the Trump administration, and from Senator Crapo and their foresight. Now, as I've served in the Idaho Senate, I've seen how these investments empower our local leaders and these private sector investors to dream bigger. And you see this around us. This was a big dream. It inspires people to innovate and to build stronger. Just in the last few years in the Magic Valley, we have seen $1.8 billion, with a B, dollars of investment, direct investment in this valley, which has resulted in $3 billion of impact and created almost 14,000 direct and indirect jobs in the Magic Valley alone. That's a big deal for the Magic Valley. And Southern Idaho's success demonstrates that rural communities can and do thrive when we invest wisely and when the federal government creates a path. And so today I say, thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Senator Crapo, and to all those who stand with rural America and with rural Idaho. Thank you for believing in Idaho, and thank you for being a part of our future. Thank you very much.
Well, the good senator took my speech, so these will be brief comments. Good morning. Thank you, Senator Crapo, Secretary Turner. Thank you for being here in Twin Falls. For us, opportunity zones aren't just about a tax incentive. They're really about turning the potential into progress. Right here in our community, we've seen how this tool can unlock projects that make a real difference. As the city's economic development director, I'm excited to have this federal tool to be able to work with our local and state incentives to support private investment, because that's where the dollars get spent. Together, we're bringing our downtown redevelopment vision to life, transforming underutilized properties into places that create jobs, serve residents, draw visitors, and strengthen our sense of community. A great example is this building here. We had the chance to walk around here and to see the vision that Dave and Lisa were able to execute, not only for their business success, but when we heard the individual stories from these folks who are here making lunch a little earlier than usual today, but really the way it's transformed their lives and the opportunities for their employees. These investments continue to breathe new life into our streets, helping to attract housing, restaurants, retail spaces, the kinds of places where people want to spend time. They're helping us create a vibrant community core filled with unique businesses, housing choices, and public spaces, the kind of downtown that reflects the character and ambition of Twin Falls, Southern Idaho, and Idaho as a whole. The benefits really do go beyond that brick and mortar. Every construction crew hired, every local supplier that's tapped, every coffee shop that's serving those workers, they're all part of that ripple effect that strengthens our local economy. Opportunity zones work here because we paired private capital with a clear community vision. When you give investors a reason to choose Twin Falls, they do, and the whole community benefits. We're excited for what's already been done here in our downtown, in this opportunity zone, throughout Southern Idaho and throughout the state, and really across the nation. We're even more excited for what's ahead as we continue to build a downtown and a community that's ready for the future. So if anybody's watching this and has some private capital they'd like to deploy, we're here to help you do that right here in Twin Falls. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here. Senator, thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Second South Market. Thank you all for being here. My husband and I are especially grateful to have Secretary Turner, Senator Crapo with us at Second South Market to present and promote opportunity zones. This project is really a textbook on how opportunity zones can benefit not just investors, but the entire community. In our case, it all began with a few coincidences, a couple of accidental discoveries, and one incredibly effective federal economic development policy. Together, those factors helped us to create Idaho's very first food hall right here in rural Twin Falls. We're just a husband and wife team who needed to make a decision about a small investment. We never set out to do anything big, but we stumbled across a unique long-term federal investment tax strategy created in 2017 during the first Trump administration, and it completely changed what was possible for us. We realized we could build something much bigger than ourselves, a business that now supports 7 other small businesses and nearly 80 employees. Here's how it happened. By coincidence, we had just sold a piece of commercial property. That sale came up with a capital gains tax bill that we weren't really happy about. And also, we weren't sure how to invest those funds, and we certainly didn't know how to protect our investment long-term and that looming tax hit. Then, during vacation, while we were in Denver, we experienced our first food hall. And wow, it was such a cool, vibrant concept. And Dave couldn't stop asking, how do we do something like this in Twin Falls? So one day, Dave happened to be driving on a different route through town, not one he normally travels, and he passed this old Salvation Army building. There was a for sale sign on the building, and it was a fairly rundown single-story building, hopefully in future area of growth. But after looking at the numbers, we just realized the cost of purchasing and renovating it just didn't pencil out. And we still had those pesky capital gains taxes to pay. Then, when another coincidence came into play, I had been asked to research an article for the Idaho Economic Development Association's newsletter on opportunity zones, and I had never heard of them. Out of curiosity, I pulled up the opportunity zone map for Twin Falls, and there it was. Right smack dab in the middle of the opportunity zone was that building we'd been eyeing. Then it was time to learn everything we could about opportunity zones. Suddenly, the pieces started to come together. In 2018, with the help of our now expert on opportunity zones accountant, We realized we could use the funds from our previous property sale, purchase the building, and invest those capital gains into refurbishing the building, all within the guidelines of an Opportunity Zone program. We restored and repurposed many of the original 1926 and even some of the 100-year-old items that you can see throughout our building today. Dave brought in 7 amazing small local businesses to lease space, helping them to grow and thrive. And we created a unique, welcoming community space right here in rural Idaho. Let me briefly tell you a story that captures what Opportunity Zones initiatives really can make possible. Chan and his family immigrated from Burma in 2012 and became U.S. citizens in 2018. In 2021, he opened his own Asian fusion restaurant, Fuji Express, right here in Second South. Thanks to his incredible success over the past 4 years, he was able to purchase his very first home and move his family out of refugee housing. That's the American dream, and we are honored to have played a small part in journey in that successful business. In fact, 4 of our vendors hit record sales just last month. So none of this would have happened without the Opportunity Zone initiative, especially the rural revitalization investment aspect. It turned our modest investment into something so much bigger than we ever imagined. And it has been transformative, and it's been a blessing. I want to acknowledge our vendors and our small business owners. They took a big gamble joining our new venture. Smoky Bone Barbecue, Lucy's Pizzeria, The Tap House, Fuji Express, Poke and Sushi Hut, Petite Creperie and Cafe, and Full Steam Espresso. We are grateful for your partnership with us. Again, thank you, Secretary Turner, Senator Crapo, for continuing to promote and grow Opportunity Zones in the 2.2 initiative. We hope our small story serves as a catalyst for future projects, not just in Twin Falls and in Idaho, but across rural communities throughout the country. Because these kinds of successes can happen, and they do, when a great federal program like this makes it possible. As for Dave and me and our amazing vendors, we love Opportunity Zones. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Secretary, Senators, thank you for being here today. Dave and Lisa, as always. As a business manager here, I get the unique opportunity of being in the business of people. And with over 80 employees throughout this facility, we get to hear the clamor every morning of getting ready to serve our community. We get to see people through all walks of life. We get to facilitate opportunities to see baby showers and retirement parties, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to be a part of this community. Second South acts as a cornerstone for our small community, and what Dave and Lisa have accomplished here with the help of each of these small businesses is nothing short of a feat. Yes, it is an economic opportunity zone, but the opportunity really truly is with the people. It really truly is with the families that decide to raise their children in this community. We get the honor of a front row seat with each of these families and with each event that we hold here at Second South. I'd like to speak a little bit on gratuity-based employment and of course, the One Big Beautiful Bill. The recent legislation that has provided tipped employees $25,000 federally off of their taxes is a huge opportunity for the service industry. When the service industry thrives, then people come out and they want to eat and they want to be a part of a community. And that's what federally this does for tipped employees. It acts as a release, if you will, on a pressure valve for our families economically. As today marks the first day of school for many in the Magic Valley, Many families woke up this morning and prepared their kids to get ready for school. We know how fast from the first bell, from that first class to Christmas morning, those months go by. And I know that with this relief in the form of a $25,000 incentive, these families are going to be able to breathe a little easier this holiday season, prepare their kids for school just a little bit better. And I know for a fact, having conversations with the different employees here and my staff, it allows them to just take a deep breath and focus on really prioritizing the community and being able to welcome people into our facility, which we look forward to doing for years to come. Secretary Turner made a comment about kitchen table talk, and I like to think that we get the unique opportunity of facilitating and overhearing over 30 kitchen table conversations multiple times a week. Thank you.
I thought we had 4 or 5 more speakers, so aren't you lucky? I just want to say once again, I hope you've seen the vision of opportunity zones and what they can do. They are a phenomenal, explosive success across this country. And the One Big Beautiful Bill not only stopped them from expiring, but enhanced them into version 2.2, I think they call it now, which gives a stronger focus on rural communities. It's just one piece of this big bill that is going to give a huge shot in the arm to families, individuals, communities, and to America's economy. I thank you all for being here today, and thanks for coming to spend some time with us.
Thank you, sir.